We are live.
We are live. Okay, I pulled over. So hello everyone. They actually tried to do it from what it appears. They actually tried to take President Trump out. This is how terrified they are of this man. President Trump was hit in the ear. I'm just learning about all of this in real time.
That is crazy.
They
One more
tried
time.
to take him out. Crystal, pull up my tweet, the one that I shared. Pull up that tweet
Right
from Mira. Right there. Hardest picture of all fucking time. President Trump. They are not gonna stop this dude. Oh, I'm fired the fuck up right now, dude. I am fired the fuck up.
So hang
Fuck
on. They got him in the ear?
Hang on. Fuck everybody that stands against President Trump. Fuck the fence riders. Fuck the little bitches that can't sit there and speak up and sits in the shadows because they're too fucking scared to be canceled by some fucking freak. If you're a fence rider, you might as well just get on the fucking left because you're a goddamn coward.
A few moments later.
If there was something that would get me out of the seat to vote, let's say it was on the ballot in a local election, all taxes get slashed to zero. If you don't think I'm walking in the ballot box, usually I'd take a shit in the ballot box. Usually I'd say that's more conducive and that's more productive. But if it was making my taxes be 0%, and if all I gotta do is click yes on the bitch, yeah, that may get me to do something other than taking a deuce in the ballot box, because usually that's more conducive. Usually 9 times out of 10, you're probably more productive taking a shit in the ballot box or relieving of yourself than you are actually voting. But if that was the vote, right? That's the practical approach. Yeah, fuck yeah, make it get to 0, right? Now, yeah, would I ideally like that never be up for vote? For sure. But you take your victories where you can.
Just 4 days after President Trump was nearly assassinated, Eric July told his fans that it was more effective to defecate in the voting booth than to vote. Meanwhile, in a heated rant, Jeremy eviscerated people who he felt were fence riders, those on the right who didn't want to stand by Trump. He referred to such people as basically being leftists. Jeremy never called out Rippa specifically, but 6 months after the Trump assassination attempt, Jeremy would explode again, but this time directly with Rippa, and they would have a very fiery confrontation. Their fiery skirmish lasted nearly 30 minutes, and I'm not going to play the whole thing here. If you're interested in watching it, make sure to stick to the end where you can get a link to Katie's channel. There she has the entire clip.
Inspector with a $5. Hi, Rippa. What's your opinion on Trump's plan on taxes?
What part of it? I already told y'all what I'll do if he can eliminate the federal income tax.
Rippa's a typical libertarian, one single issue voter.
No, that's not it. That's not at all. I don't
now
think
you got him talking
politics.
Motherfucker, you said he's got to do one thing. You're going to put a MAGA hat on?
Well, yeah, that's what I would do to put a
else
MAGA hat on. I said I would support him and put a MAGA hat on. That don't mean I'm someone that's a single issue voter.
Look, what else does a man got to do? He's literally like gotten shot at. They trying to kill him. They try to arrest his family.
What they got to do with me?
I'm saying your stance is if he does this one thing. You said if he does this one thing, I'm going to put a MAGA hat on.
Absolutely. If he does that one thing,
typical libertarian.
That would benefit.
Single issue.
That's
single
not
issue.
First of all, I didn't say that I was going to vote
Did Rippa vote for Trump?
No.
Number two, I'm talking about what I would do and wearing all that MAGA shit if he did that.
Eric July said that he would deck himself out in MAGA gear if Donald Trump eliminated the federal income tax. And while he has yet to wear a MAGA hat, he is eager to compare himself to Donald Trump, making multiple thumbnails where he's a race-swapped Donald Trump. He even went as far as making a video about how he was the Donald Trump of comics. But before we get to that, let's take a quick look at how one of Jeremy's fans ended up taking a shot at Rippa.
Stephen DeLeon with a $5. Last time Rippa voted was for his Lord and Savior Obama. Frick you, Jeremy. Stephen DeLeon rules all.
Nah, last time I voted was in 2012. For the presidential election.
Eric July is eager to compare himself to Trump to garner support from his voters and conservatives, but he didn't vote for him in 2024 or even 2020 or 2016. Jeremy further argued with Eric.
You disrespected him.
You see what I'm saying, though, right, Jeremy? That doesn't make sense. I'm not a member of the Libertarian Party. I voted for more Republicans than I've ever voted for Libertarian Party members.
My point being
What are you
is
talking about?
my problem is you say if he does this one thing, I'll put a MAGA hat on.
For me, yes, absolutely. Because
You should have done put a fucking MAGA hat on is my point.
For what? For what?
If you're saying that that's the one thing that it takes, my stance
for me, that's the one thing that it takes.
Because if you
said in front of the Libertarian Party,
because if you would have said I'm never putting a MAGA hat on, then I'm gonna be like, that's your choice. But if you're saying if he does this one thing, I'll put one on, my argument is you should have fucking put one on a long time ago.
That argument doesn't make any fucking sense.
Why?
Why? Because I'm simply telling you that's
a single issue voter bullshit that drives me crazy.
I didn't say anything about voting.
Everything else he's done hadn't been good enough. But if he does one thing,
for me to be draped out in MAGA gear, no, none of that shit has done any of that for me. None of it.
Nothing else he's done. So getting all these illegal motherfuckers out of the country ain't done nothing for you?
What?
Getting all these illegals out of the country ain't doing no benefit to you?
What I am
getting
saying,
rid of DEI ain't doing nothing for you?
Jeremy argues that Eric should support Trump because of his moves to make the government more efficient and stop DEI. Let me show you one example which actually involves comic books.
These are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government.
Donald Trump's press secretary talked about how the government needed to be more efficient by not wasting federal spending on a transgender comic book which was sent to Peru. Interestingly enough, this book was actually illustrated by Eric July's artist, Cliff Richards. I cover that in more detail in this video over here. And so one can only wonder if Eric July actually does care about wasteful government spending and DEI. Eric is hiring the very people that Trump is firing, but he still seems to believe that there's a lot of similarity between the two.
When some of my fellow creatives called me various names like Black Stan Lee or Black Walt Disney, it's said as a fun joke. I'm not anywhere close to those guys yet. But the one name that seems to be less and less of a joke is the Donald Trump of comics statement. This is in reference to the level of scrutiny that I get, how me just existing has made some people obsessive and crazy, and how people throw everything at me in hopes to take me down, ruin the reputation, all of that. But those aren't the only similarities. I'm even now getting compared to the guy with the funny mustache out of Germany. Apparently creating a successful independent comic book company is a crime so bad that this guy can't even name someone worse than me on the fly. And much like Trump, I've been able to withstand a lot of the lies and defamatory things stated about me.
Eric asked Jeremy what Trump had done for him, and it seems that his brand has provided Eric with a lot of customers. Let's watch as the debate continues and hear the choice words that Jeremy has for Eric.
Where are your principles is what I'm asking, right?
My principles are that I think illegal immigration needs to be under control.
Okay, that's fine.
I think we don't need to be in endless wars.
Okay, that's cool.
I think you need to be holding the government accountable for what's going on right now with what we're seeing.
Yeah.
I think those are some key issues that I think are fundamentally good for America and good for all Americans.
What is odd enough about all the things that you're saying is those are positions that a lot of minarchist libertarians have.
And nothing was accomplished until Trump walked in the door.
We're not arguing about a because now you're just saying he won and he's in a position to win, and therefore that places him above everything else.
Bernie Sanders got screwed over and he cucked to the party. Trump got screwed over. They shot at him. They raided his house. They arrested his friends, and he didn't fucking give up.
I'm not saying any of that stuff is negative. What I'm saying is you're claiming that like my positions are retarded by you, and you just took positions that I would argue that a lot of minarchist libertarians take.
I think when Donald Trump has gone through everything he's gone through, and you don't vote for him, I think that's retarded.
All right, and that's fine. And I would disagree. I think calling someone retarded just because they did or did not vote for something, I think is one of the things that got us in this political position right now.
I think if you're going to be sensitive to me calling you retarded, we should never have a conversation because we call retarded
I agree with that. I agree with that. I just think that you're not well equipped, at least, to argue against libertarianism because you don't really know the positions.
That's right. Jeremy believes that Eric belongs on the short bus, that he's retarded. Yet Eric claims this was all just a show.
So I just saw a tweet from you before the start of the show. Apparently you had a shout, you and Jeremy were shouting.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So another day that ends in Y. with Jeremy on the stream.
Yeah.
Some people are freaking out.
Yeah, apparently him and I going back and forth, which it's not even the first time him and I have gone back and forth on that particular subject. But apparently, you have those what do you call them? Little ankle biters that are always looking for a little something all the time. So they're like, oh, these guys hate each other, exposing one or the other side is exposing the grift. It's like it's the same old stuff. So yeah, they're going to be disappointed because that will happen on Tuesday night's main event, and the people that have followed us, literally on the first ever Tuesday night's main event, which is almost 4 years ago, was me and Jeremy screaming at each other for about an hour. It was longer than this argument that we had yesterday, screaming at each other for probably like an hour and a half over Resident Evil. And yeah, it came. We were just screaming and shouting at each other, but it's nothing new at all. I mean, Jeremy and I do that. It's not the first time. It's for sure won't be the last time.
No, I mean, I can remember the Filoniing. Which has turned into a great skit as well from the show. But Jeremy and I were, we were going it before the show even began. And Gary's just like, I'm just going live with this, and Jeremy out. And then as soon as the show ends, Jeremy just like, see you next week, dude. Yeah, see you next week.
It's like it's nothing.
Was this really all kayfabe? Was Jeremy just trying to do a WWE takedown? Maybe, but considering how he ranted about this 6 months ago, I think it's safe to say that this is actually how he feels. And if this was all fake, then why were all these other panelists hiding their faces and trying to change the topic? And while on stream Eric may claim to be good friends with Jeremy, a recent video paints a completely different picture. In a recent video, Eric complained that many on the internet were lying about him, and he said that there weren't other big channels defending him, just little ones.
And while there are plenty of people that are pushing back and defending me, it's rarely creators with big platforms. So a lot of people, especially the perpetually online, start believing the lies.
Which big channels aren't defending him? Gary from Nerdrotic? Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers? If they're so close, then why don't they speak out more? For now, that's the end of the fight between Jeremy and Eric. And while some may claim that Jeremy and Eric are really good friends, the same was probably assumed about people like Nina Infinity, Doomcock, or even Jeff Hicks. Could it be that someone else will be on the chopping block soon? I suppose that won't be the last time that Jeremy and Eric exploded each other, and if it happens again, I'll be one of the first to cover it. So make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you can get updates for my new videos. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Also, don't forget to share the video, or...
You are a hoe ass.
Thank you.